Mic placement. Majorly important topic and techniques to make sure you get right. If you don't, you're going to listen back, man, why does it not sound good? Maybe let's throw some more low end or high end on it. It's like, man, if you get it right to start with, you're way ahead of the game. So there's just some basics that I've learned from watching stuff and reading stuff, and then I've got my good friend Jim Handley that is a drum tech. He's been Paul Lime's drum tech for over 20 years. If you don't know who Paul is, one of Nashville's top guys. I mean, he and Eddie Bears now, I think, are the top guys. I know there's also Lonnie Wilson and some other guys. I don't want to leave anyone out. But Paul has been on the scene since the 70s or definitely the 80s. And like all the big stuff Shania Twain had, that was Paul. And that was actually Jim that did the stuff because I've asked him about it. But one thing Jim had told me is that you can take, for as far as distance from the drums, take 2 to 3 fingers. Spock, live long and prosper. But for me, that's what I do. I get around 2 to 3 fingers from the head and the mic, and I know I'm in the ballpark right with that. So that's one thing. Probably can't see that one. How about over there? But depending on what it is. And the other thing is also the angle that it's coming down at. So with these black dots, I can really see where it's shooting at. But the more you have it towards the edge, the more tone you're going to get, and the more you get it towards the center, you're going to get more stick sound. I've got mine kind of. Let's just look at this one. Can we see it? We're going to try that. It's pretty much towards the center. Is where that's going. On all of them. At the center of them is what I'm going for. And that works for me. There's just, again, it's all personal preference when it comes to that, but some of the basics are you want to have it far enough away where it can get a sound as opposed to, like right up against it. That's not good. You want to make sure that the mics are getting the cleanest raw sound before you ever throw any EQ on there or compression or reverb or whatever. So I'm going to play a little bit just demonstrating the raw sounds that I get. Again, with all the mics the way they are, and I may screw around and like place a few mics at some bad spots, and that way you can kind of hear the difference. So here's no effects, just regular groove, and I'll go around the toms. So there's the raw sound, and you can hear, that everything's clean. It's like, okay, you want to have a basic sound. It's like it needs some polishing because the mics aren't going to do everything. That's where you need that to do it. But you want a good place to start from, and not have to fix it all in there. So, and like I said in one of the other videos, you don't need really expensive equipment to do that. It doesn't hurt, but you don't. You need a good set of mics. Good set of that. Drums, you can, as long as they're tuned right, all of it factors into the whole thing. But one thing with the overheads, you do want to make sure that they are equal distance from the center of the snare. That's what I've heard. Simon Phillips has talked about it. Simon is one of the best sounds I've ever heard. Center, and I will go up. It's 3 feet, 36 inches from there to there. And if you look, that's facing right down. It's hitting around here. It's catching it all, but it's kind of going right here. So it's, picking up a lot of everything. And if you look here, same thing, right at it, 3 feet. I don't know if they're 3 feet apart. They are almost. They're like 34 inches. I could do that a little bit, but that helps with phase issues. Phase is where the mics are kind of fighting each other because the distance is not the same. You know, you've got it with the kick mic and the outside mic, and you got it with the snare top and bottom. Same type thing. You want to make sure that you're not fighting yourself as much as possible. Hi-hat. That's 4.5 inches above, and it's facing, it's pointed right about there is where it's facing at. So when it's open, it's 3 inches. So, but it's hitting here, and it's kind of away from everything. These mics right here, that's pretty much what I do. It's 3 fingers, or hi-hat different, 4.5 to 5. These are 36, and it works. The kick drums, I'm gonna take you around there. Okay, so the kick drums, I've got the Kelly shoe system in there, which I mentioned before. I even did a video review of that several years ago. Still got them in there. It is about halfway back from the head. You know, it's like in the middle of the kick drum. There it is right there. There's the capsule, and there's the thing the beater hits, the little patch, and it is slightly off center. It's not facing directly at it, but it's a little bit to the left of it, and the other kick drum, it's the same thing, but the other direction. And the other thing I have here is this Lewitt 240 outside mic, and what this is doing is, you know, getting this head. And same deal, I think I got, oh, look at that, 3 fingers away. A little bit off just because of the hole, but I'm able to mix that sound in with the sound from the kick just to as much or as little as I want. So that's how I do it. While I'm down here, there is the F15 underneath the snare, and it's probably, well, that's as high as I can get it because I know that little thing doesn't go that high, but I'm not too worried about that. But that's the bottom snare mic, and the gong drum, you're gonna think I'm weird. Probably already do, but I don't have it facing exactly at the center. I've kind of got the same concept going where it's facing pretty much right over here somewhere. And what that's doing is it's kind of getting the whole gong drum sound, not as much stick sound. I've experimented a lot with it, and that actually works really good. It's near the back, so it's got a lot of time for the sound to generate by the time it hits that. Okay, so for some fun, I'm just gonna put this snare mic right on the head like I've seen in other videos, and I'll do these toms also. It's gonna drive me nuts, but I'm gonna do it just to kind of show you some stuff I've seen. Okay, what's it sound like? Raw sounds. Let me put it back. Same thing. So there you go. So there's my mic placement tips, tricks, whatever you want to call it. It's nothing new. Stuff I just got from a lot of other guys I've seen. So, but hope that helps. Again, if you got the mic placement right, you're going to save yourself a lot of time from having to fix it over there. If you don't, you're going to spend a lot of time tweaking with stuff and trying to figure what's wrong. Why is it not sounding right? Man, get it right to start with. Experiment with this, and you'll be a lot happier. So let me know how it works. Let me know if you got questions or comments on that, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.